Whenever I hear the blare of a foghorn or see a picture of a mermaid or a young couple madly in love, I feel as if I've been Jeannie blinked back into my childhood, happy and secure. The foghorn, you see, reminds me of San Francisco, where I grew up. The mermaid reminds me of Dolphina, the famous girl in the fishbowl always on display at the Baltabaran restaurant in North Beach, where my parents often used to bring me when I was very young, simply because they couldn't afford a babysitter and had to cart me everywhere with them. In those far-off years during the Depression, however poor my parents were, they still hadn't forgotten how to love, how to laugh, and how to dream. They were young and carefree and spent every penny my father earned from his job as a telephone lineman and understood exactly how to have fun. At the time, long before my younger sister Allison was born, I was my mother's onlyest only, as she called me then and would until her dying day. Like many an only child, I was probably grown up before my time, and those nights at the Baltabaran, which later became Bimbo's 365 Club, where Rita Hayworth danced in the chorus, and Ann Miller was discovered dancing when she was just 13, only served to make me more mature and at the same time give me an early love of show business. So did seeing Bob Hope perform live on stage when I was just 4 years old. My mother and father took me to his show at a local theater, and I remember how joyful watching Bob made me feel. Little did I know that when I grew up I would meet him, we'd become friends, and I'd appear on stage with him many, many times myself. When I was a small child, my dream was to be not an actress, but a singer. Each night when I did the dishes with my mother Alice, she sang Gilbert and Sullivan ditties or tunes from her father's favorite Irish operetta, Bohemian Girl, and I joined in. I developed a passion for singing early on in my childhood, which was only further heightened when I sang in the church choir every Sunday. At the same time, fishing on Fisherman's Wharf with my father, although the sight of fishermen gutting their fish put me off fish for life. To this day I never eat it. Roller skating along the wharf and bicycling in Golden Gate Park with him all contributed to making me a bit of a tomboy, which, by the way, I always thought Jeannie was as well. I've always considered myself a California girl and have been proud of it. But in reality, I was born in Tucson, Arizona, and I always relished looking back at my mother's family history and reconstructing exactly how I ended up being born there. I still have a remarkable letter she gave to me, which was originally bequeathed to her by her mother. It was written in 1856 by my great-great-great-grandfather, John A. Bills, to my great-great-grandparents, Ballista and William Long, after they were forced to leave New York State and go west, because William, a house painter, was dying of lead poisoning. If I could have, I would have framed it, but it is too old and too fragile, so I keep it in an acid-free envelope. All in all, I think it's a fascinating historical document, but if you don't, just skip it. Ramsey, Illinois, 28 November 1856. Dear Daughter, we received your letter a few days ago and hastened to answer. We were sorry to hear that William was so feeble, although it was not altogether unexpected. He has been so long sick that we sometimes almost believed that thought he might at last recover. But we feel that even this letter may find you a widow and the children orphans. I sometimes feel as though you would be doubly afflicted, situated as you are a stranger almost, in a far-off country. But it seems you are not discouraged or cast down entirely. We really hope a way will be provided for you and the little ones. Do you still feel that you had rather stay there, or would you like to come back and live among your old acquaintances and friends once more? We have sold out all our things in Troy and moved to the west. We're on a farm in a town called Ramsey. It is on the Illinois South Central Railroad, as far south nearly as St. Louis. We have a very nice farm of 1,110 acres, and so far like it much. Gardner and George are here with us, and John in Vandalia, 13 miles south of us, to work at his trade, dentist. Uncle Loren is out in the northern part of the state with all of his family. and they seem and write that they like it first rate. Uncle Allinson is still in New York. Alonzo has gone to sea again, this time to Calcutta. I suppose he is bound to be a sailor. Yarny and Abner are in stores. Clara Yu is at home. Samuel and Sarah live in Williamsburg, opposite New York. Daniel is a Carmen. Uncle Lewis and Nathan are in... This part was unreadable. On their old places, all well. Alan and Esther lived in Albany when we came away. Have not heard from them since. I had a letter from Mrs. Harlow sometime since they live in Oroville, and she seems to think that they are getting rich again. I hope they may. I suppose Mrs. Alfred Smith is out there, as she has sold all her furniture and was calculating to go in a few days when we left Troy the 1st of July. Is she there? And what are they about? I wish we could run in and see you and help you in your time of need, but we are a great way apart, and it is not likely that I shall ever go to California again. If we had Mary and Willie home, we could give them a good chance for school and bread and milk. We have 2 good cows and make plenty of butter and have lots of cream and milk to eat and use. I suppose they are great children now, and hope they are and always will be good children and do all they can to help their mother through life. Now, Ballista, I should like to know how you are situated to get a living. Can you earn enough to make yourself and children comfortable? Do you intend to stay there and work and do all you can to make a living, or do you sometimes wish you was back again? I wish you would write me as to how you feel about it. We think this is a good and healthy country. My health and your mother's is much better than it was in Troy, and so far we are not sorry we moved. Please write soon and often, and we will write often now that we are settled down once more. Give our respects to Mr. and Mrs. Smith, if she is there, and finally give our respects to all our old acquaintances if you see any of them. Goodbye, and may the Lord give you strength to endure whatever you may call to go through. Direct your letter, John A. Bills, Ramsey, Fayette County, Illinois. Your father, John A. Bills. Mrs. Ballista A. Long, San Francisco, California.